Afternoon or good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Monday, September 16th, 2024, and welcome back to the college football rankings going into week number 4 of the 2024 season. We will be taking a look at both the Associated Press Top 25 and the AFCA Coaches Poll as we enter week number 4 of the season this weekend. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Okay, off we go. We'll look at the AP Top 25 College Football Poll going into week 4. This is the weekend of September 21st. And there's a new top dog in the AP poll, and that's the Texas Longhorns taking the number 1 spot. 3-0 record and 1,540 points and 35 first place votes. They won easily over UTSA 56-7, and this week they will host UL Monroe. Last week's number 1 drops down to number 2, and that's the Georgia Bulldogs. 3-0 record, 1,518 points, and 23 first place votes. They survived a test from Kentucky last Saturday night, winning 13-12, and they will be off this week. Holding steady at number 3, you've got the Ohio State Buckeyes. 2-0 record, 1,461 points, and 5 first place votes. They were off in week 3, but they are back in action this week against Marshall. No change at number 4 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. 3-0 record, 1,358 points. They won big at Wisconsin 42-10, and they have the week off. And number 5 stays the same. That's the Ole Miss Running Rebels. 3-0 record, 1,316 points. They won at Wake Forest 40-6 last week, and this week they will host Georgia Southern. Up 1 spot to number 6, the Tennessee Volunteers. 3-0 record, 1,188 points. They pitched a 71-0 shutout over Kent State, and they'll open SEC play on Saturday when they visit Oklahoma. More on where the Sooners ended up in just a moment. Down a spot to number 7 is Missouri. The Tigers are 3-0, 1,127 points. They defeated then 24th ranked Boston College 27-21, and this week they will host Vanderbilt. The Miami Hurricanes move up 2 spots to number 8, 3-0 record, 1,094 points. They won 62-0 over Ball State, and this week they visit South Florida. Holding steady at number 9, you've got the Oregon Ducks. 3-0 record, 1,093 points. They defeated Oregon State in Corvallis last week, 49-14, and they are off this week. Slipping 2 spots to number 10, the Penn State Nittany Lions. 2-0 record, 1,050 points. They were off in week 3, but they're back this week hosting Kent State. Staying at number 11, the USC Trojans. 2-0 record, 1,008 points. They were off last week as well. They'll play their first ever Big Ten game when they visit Michigan, and I'll tell you where the Wolverines ended up in just a little bit. Holding steady at number 12, the Utah Utes. 3-0 record, 912 points. They won 38-21 at Utah State, and this week they visit Oklahoma State. And I'll tell you where the Cowboys ended up shortly. Number 13 is the Kansas State Wildcats. 3-0 record, 836 points, and they're up a spot from last week. Alright, they defeated the Arizona Wildcats 31-7. Arizona was number 20 in last week's AP poll. And this week, they will travel to Provo to face BYU. The Oklahoma State Cowboys slipped one spot to number 14. 3-0 record, 742 points. They won at Tulsa 45-10, and this week they will host 12th ranked Utah. No change for the next two teams. The Oklahoma Sooners remain at number 15. 3-0 record, 649 points. They beat Tulane 34-19, and this week Taw test against number 6 Tennessee in Norman on Saturday night. And no change for the LSU Tigers, who will stay at number 16. 2-1 record, 537 points. They won a thriller at South Carolina 36-33, where they trailed for most of the game. This week, the Tigers will host UCLA. Up one spot to number 17 are the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 2-1 record, 477 points. They obliterated Purdue 66-7, and this week they'll host Miami of Ohio. And the downward spiral continues for the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines. Despite beating Arkansas State 28-18 last week, the Wolverines fall a spot to number 18 with a 2-1 record and 447 points. And they will host number 11 USC in Ann Arbor this week. Holding steady at number 19, you've got the Louisville Cardinals. 2-0 record, 418 points. No game last week, but they're back hosting Georgia Tech this week. The Iowa State Cyclones are up a spot to number 20 with a 2-0 record and 354 points. They were off last week too, and they will host Arkansas State in week 4. And the Clemson Tigers also up a spot to number 21. 1-1 record, 291 points. They too had the week off, but they'll be back hosting NC State. Up one spot to number 22, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 3-0 record, 266 points. They blitzed Northern Iowa 34-3, and this week they will host Illinois. And yes, they are in the AP Top 25. We'll tell you where right after number 23, which is the Northern Illinois Huskies. 2-0 record, 151 points. They are up 2 spots from last week. They did not play in week 3. They had the week off after that thrilling upset win at Notre Dame a couple weeks back. And they will be back in action this week hosting Buffalo. The Illinois Fighting Illini are one of 2 newcomers to this week's poll at number 24. 3-0 record, 137 points. They won 30-9 over Central Michigan, and this week they're off to Lincoln to face 22nd ranked Nebraska. And Texas A&M returns to the AP poll at number 25. 2-1 record, 82 points. They would beat the Florida Gators in Gainesville 33-20, and they return home to host Bowling Green. Others receiving votes include the Memphis Tigers at 77 points, the Syracuse Orange with 62, the Boise State Broncos with 62, UNLV 54, Boston College 47, Washington State 30, Iowa and Arizona both with 15, Indiana with 13, California 11, Liberty 10, Toledo 9, UCF 6, South Carolina 3, North Carolina 3, Arizona State 3, BYU 2, and Pittsburgh 1. And with the additions of Illinois and Texas A&M to the AP poll, Arizona dropped out. They were at number 20. Of course, they were beaten heavily by the other Wildcats from Kansas State. And Boston College, previously at number 24, before losing to Missouri. So that's the AP Top 25 poll. Now let's look at the AFCA Coaches poll going into week number 4. If my computer will let me. There it goes. Alright. So Georgia remains atop the coaches poll at 3-0 and 1,358 points and 42 first place votes. Texas moved up a spot to number 2, 3-0 record and 1,301 points, plus 10 first place votes, and they overtook Ohio State, who slipped back to number 3, 2-0 record and 1,293 points. Alabama remains at number 4, 3-0 record, 1,193 points. Then it's Ole Miss staying at number 5, 3-0 record, 1,153 points. Oregon hangs at 6, 3-0 record, 1,019 points. Tennessee moves up 2 spots to number 7, 3-0 record, 1,009 points. And you've got a tie for 8th with Missouri at 3-0. And Penn State actually slipping a spot to form this tie for 8th. 2-0 record, 968 points for both teams. Utah is at number 10, staying there for another week. 3-0 record, 834 points. Then you've got the Miami Hurricanes, up 1 spot to number 11. 3-0 record, 831 points. Changing spots with the USC Trojans, who fell to number 12. 2-0 record, 808 points. Oklahoma stays at number 13. 3-0 record, 697 points. Kansas State moves up a spot to number 14. 3-0 record, 662 points. Oklahoma State moves down a spot to 15. 3-0 record, 642 points. LSU is up 1 spot to number 16. 2-1 record, 466 points. Michigan falls a spot to number 17. 2-1 record, 439 points. Notre Dame is up 1 spot to number 18. 2-1 and 404 points. Clemson's also up 1 spot to number 19, 1-1 and 340 points. Likewise with the Louisville Cardinals, they're up 1 spot to number 20, 2-0 record, 333 points. Up 2 spots to number 21 is Iowa State, 2-0 record, 235 points. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are also up 2 spots to number 22. 3-0 record and 204 points. The Memphis Tigers are up 2 spots to number 23. 3-0 record, 176 points. They won in Tallahassee against the now 0-3 Florida State Seminoles, 20-12, and this week they will host, or no, they're on the road this week at Navy. Texas A&M enters at number 24, 2-1 record, 85 points. And UNLV, the Runnin' Rebels, round out the top 25 in the coaches poll. 3-0 record, 76 points. They beat the Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence last week, 23-20, and they are off in week 4. So Texas A&M and UNLV replaces Arizona and Washington in the coaches poll. Arizona was previously number 18 and Washington was number 22. Others receiving votes includes Illinois with 75 points, so they narrowly got in. Washington State 38, Arizona 37, Northern Illinois 34, Syracuse 32, UCF 27. Iowa, Pittsburgh, and Boise State with 17 points each. Arizona State 15, North Carolina 14, NC State 12, California 10, Indiana 7, Liberty 6, Michigan State and Boston College also with 6 points, BYU with 3, Washington with 2, and then the remaining schools, Toledo, James Madison, South Florida, and San Jose State, each with 1 point. And those are the look at the latest Associated Press Top 25 and the AFCA Coaches Poll entering Week 4 of the season. And we will be back next Monday with a new look at these college football polls, as we do these every Monday throughout the season, at least until they start releasing the college football playoff rankings. Then we'll be doing this every Tuesday. And speaking of Tuesday, my Week 2 NFL recap, the week that was, will drop tomorrow, so join me for that. And then we'll look at the Week 4 college football television schedule on Wednesday. We'll have my NFL picks both straight up and against the spread, plus the injury report entering Thursday Night Football, primarily with the Patriots and the Jets, and then we'll look at the rest of them on Friday, and a last second look at the injury report on Sunday. I will be live at about 12 noon, between 12 noon and 12:30 Eastern on Sunday with the last minute injury report. So join me all week for all this content. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.